Hello, guys, and good morning. First of all, the good question is why the racing driver stays here and not the guy which knows a little bit more about the payments. From my point of view, payments is quite simple. It should go from one side to the another and shouldn't be lost in the middle. But we know how it goes sometimes. And why motorsport? Why me, as a racing driver, is staying here and talks about all of the business behind the scene? Most of you maybe know, maybe not, that motorsport requires a lot of funds. And it's sometimes, maybe not sometimes, it's always on the driver's side. We need to require, we need to prove that we got the financial side, which we bring to the team. And maybe that's why I got the knowledge how to do it and to tell you how we manage it. So basically, who I am. I'm multiple champion in Audi Sport Racing. I won twice Audi R8 Cup. Maybe some of you know Robert Kubica. Someone heard that name on the stage? Yeah. So he's Polish Formula 1 driver. I'm also Polish, I forgot to tell that. I'm 25 years old, and I participated together with him in DTM test, which is something like Formula 1 in GT racing. And I also won German championship in GT3 class, which is like the highest motor racing scene instead of Formula 1. So, how it works in motorsport. Imagine that you are playing football. What does it require? You need to go to like a soccer pitch, you need shoes, you need to run a lot, and that's it. And you need to be an athlete. From driver's perspective, it's not so simple because it requires logistic, it requires team, it requires car, fuel, a lot of different specific materials. That's why I gather so many different partners behind me to get required money to pay for it. And you need to, maybe you don't have to, but sometimes you can outsmart the process and got already wealthy parents, pay for it, do it, and become the racing driver and be the world champion. But sometimes you don't have wealthy parents like me, and you need to do it by yourself. That's why we got so many different partners from different industries, which we gather together, we make the business with them, we bring them to the racetrack, and we connect them with different manufacturers. Because when they can make money, I can race. And that's the goal. So, basically, because motorsport is so expensive, it gathers very specific people, and not normal people. My teammate, my opponents got the name like Habsburg or Goethe. And some of my partners are interested. Okay, maybe we can make some business with Habsburgs, maybe we can make some business with Goethe, and together we can build like a good business platform. That's why I'm staying here, not driving now, because it requires this kind of skills to communicate, to be able to, I don't know, to create the environment which provides our partners to make a business on the track. And what's specific on the track? Everybody loves racing. There is no like random people on the track which hates racing. I never met someone who is bored on the racetrack. Everybody loves cars, everybody loves speed, and everybody which are on the racetrack understand how demanding it is. Because imagine, like driving a normal car, sometimes it's demanding, sometimes not. I saw in Cyprus it's more demanding in Poland because everybody are pushing, flashing, and honks. So, but it's nothing compared to the motor racing because we drive sometimes above 200 kph in the middle of the corner. You know, when you drive 200, your body goes that way, and you need to stay tight. So why I'm telling you that? Because everybody who is in the paddock, who is behind the scene in motorsport, understands that. And when these people gather, it's so much easier to make the business with them. You got partner Kraken of this conference, they're in Formula One. You got on the previous presentation was MoneyGram, like the payment provider. I don't know what they are doing. But they're also in Formula One with the Haas team. Why? Because people behind the scene in motorsport got the same passion, and this passion connects people together, and that's why the motorsport works. Because it's not like the team is looking for the sponsors, pays the salary to the drivers, and everybody are happy. No. We are creating the environment which provides the partners to make business out of the motorsport. And that's how the money are made in our industry. I give you an example with Lamborghini. Lamborghini is a very nice brand. Everybody should know this. For last 2 years, I used to drive with Lamborghini. And how I was able to do it, if I don't have wealthy parents. I only got a couple of partners. Not couple, like 17, but still. I got one partner which is selling the safety gloves. And those safety gloves are good. But I'm not the best seller of the gloves, you know? I know that the gloves should protect my hands, and that's it. But I connected them with the Lamborghini, with the guy on the racetrack, which is required for the sales and is buying the equipment for the manufacture. And we provided our partner, like a big customer, which is Lamborghini, and now they are selling like tons of gloves in the whole Italy, just because we connected them with Lamborghini. Lamborghini recommended them to the another companies, and now they made so much more money than they invested in motorsport. And this is quite interesting because now I can drive. And what we did, because Lamborghini and Italians are okay. But maybe if you know some Italians, I have nothing against them, but they are not the most strict people which I know, as you can imagine. They can tell something, and then, we drink coffee now. And that's it. They don't have the most powerful motivation which I ever experienced. So, as I already mentioned at the beginning, I used to win with Audi 2 times already. In 2021, I actually been the fastest driver in the world in Audi R8 Cup. So we got the offer from Audi. We now moved to Audi, and we received like a full racing team, which we use for our partners, which is quite interesting because, as you can see, we got our livery, we got our trucks, we got our hospitality, which we provide to the partners to build this environment, which I already talked for a couple of minutes, which is quite interesting because, as I mentioned with Lamborghini, when we ask them for something, you know, sometimes it happens, sometimes not. But with Audi, they are Germans, and they are a little bit more motivated. And that's why we are working on different platforms. Because one thing is winning on the track, but second part is winning off the track. Like, when you win on the track, it's quite easy to see, you know, the driver which crossed the line first wins, get the trophy, champagne, and that's it. But to make it happen, and just not to throw the words to the partners, we created a different source of the incomes for the team, but also for the partners, because we created, for example, our clothing line. It's only specific for the racing team. Amazon is making movie, like documentary movie about me. This is also another marketing placement. We got official partnership with Audi Sport. What does it mean? It means that we are using commercially the sign of Audi Sport, which everybody knows. like around the world. This is already known brand. Like Robin Rogalski, I'm not the most famous guy here, you know. Also, we created the club, which means we are organizing the tours for the different countries where we drive with our partners on the track. I coach them how to drive the car and don't kill themselves. You know, it's sometimes useful to be able to drive the car. We got our racing team. We got our simulator team, which is working for our partners. And now you understand how it works, because Andreas asked me, Robin, what is like common for the drivers and for the businessmen, you know? And it's quite simple answer. It's selling skill, you know? Because I used to come from the wealthy family, but not like the most wealthy family which can afford motorsport, because one day on the track is thousands of euros, like a lot. But recently my father passed away, and I've been put in the situation where I need to learn something to continue racing, or I just finish my career and I don't race anymore. So I was knocking the doors to the different companies in my country. And as you can imagine, in Poland, motorsport is not the most famous sport. If you are a soccer player, it's okay, everybody knows you. But if you are a racing driver, no one cares, basically. So I was knocking the doors, and some companies were accepting me, other companies were just rejecting. But it created the skill of selling and creating the value for the partners. That's why I'm talking to you right now, that we created 6 different parts of our partnerships to show you how it works behind the motorsport, and to tell you that it's not only racing. And yeah, basically that's it. And thank you very much for your time.